Oh, I forgot to hit the countdown to show alive.
Okay, whoops.
Oops. Hello, buddy. Welcome to another stream. Going to do a TV test again. So.
Okay. Right, so let's have a look at chat. So D Harris is in and says, very good evening, Dano and Mark. Evening, D. Next, we've got Gillian's Dots who says, good evening, Dano and Mark. Evening, Gillian. Gillian's Dot says, good evening, D. Mark's Hobbies says, good luck, Dano. Good evening, Mark's Hobbies. Gillian Dot says, good evening, Mark's Hobbies. Mark's Hobbies says, hi, Gillian. D. Harris says, a good evening, Gillian. And then he also says, a good evening, Mark.
Oh, hello, everybody in chat.
Yes. Excuse me. Bless me. Please insert your driving test DVD into...
That's the thing. It's in.
Oh, just download it up again.
Yep.
D says notepad ready. Oh, yes. There we go.
Nope.
Why should you reduce your speed when you're driving or riding in fog? It's more difficult to see what's ahead. You'll be dazzled by other headlights. The engine will take longer to warm up. The brakes don't work as well.
Well, the two bottom ones, no.
You'll be dazzled by other headlights.
Yeah, possibly, but...
It's more difficult to see what's ahead.
That's more likely.
Who's responsible for paying the vehicle tax? The registered keeper of the vehicle, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, DVLA, the driver of the vehicle, the car dealer. The registered keeper of the vehicle.
Yeah.
What does a sign with a brown background show? Tourist directions, primary roads, minor roads, motorway routes.
Tourist.
What should you do when you meet an oncoming vehicle on a single track road? Reverse back to the main road. Stop at a passing place. Switch on your hazard warning lights. Carry out an emergency stop.
Stop at a passing place.
How will a police officer in a patrol vehicle signal for you to stop? Flash the headlights, indicate left, and point to the left. Use the siren, overtake, cut in front, and stop. Overtake and give a slowing down arm signal. Pull alongside you, use the siren, and wave you to stop.
I think it's one of the two top ones.
Use the siren, overtake, cut in front, and stop. Flash the headlights, indicate left, and point to the left.
Here's what we cutting fun.
You're travelling on a motorway in England. When must you stop your vehicle? When signalled to stop by a pedestrian on the hard shoulder. When signalled to stop by a driver who has broken down. When signalled to stop by a traffic officer. When signalled to stop by a roadwork supervisor.
Travel officer.
Do you need to plan rest stops when you're planning a long journey? Yes, regular stops help concentration. Yes, you should plan to stop every half an hour. No, only fuel stops will be needed. No, you'll be less tired if you get there as soon as possible.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, regular stops help concentration. What should you do first if your vehicle has broken down on an automatic railway level crossing? Get everyone out of the vehicle and clear of the crossing. Telephone your vehicle recovery service to move it. Try to push the vehicle clear of the crossing as soon as possible. Walk along the track to give warning to any approaching trains.
Get everybody out.
What should you do when following a car driven by an elderly driver? Stay very close behind, but be careful. Flash your lights and overtake. Be aware that their reactions may be slower than yours. Expect the driver to drive badly.
Be aware that vehicle be driving slower.
How should you use the lanes on a motorway? Overtake using the lane that's clearest. Stay in one lane until you reach your exit. Keep to the left-hand lane unless you're overtaking. Use the lane that has the least traffic.
You just keep to the left unless you're overtaken.
What does this sign mean? Ancient monument ahead. Tunnel ahead. Traffic danger spot ahead. Low bridge ahead.
Tunnel ahead.
What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes and narrowings? To allow pedestrians to cross. To increase traffic speed. To reduce traffic speed. To separate lanes of traffic.
Reduce traffic speed.
You arrive at the scene of a motorcycle crash. The rider is injured. When should their helmet be removed? Only when it's essential. Always straight away. Only when the motorcyclist asks. Always unless they're in shock. Only when it's essential.
Yeah, when it's essential.
What does this sign mean? Two-way traffic straight ahead. Traffic approaching you has priority. Two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. Motorway contraflow system ahead.
Two-way traffic ahead.
What's the main benefit of driving a four-wheel drive vehicle? Improved grip on the road. Lower fuel consumption. Improved passenger comfort. Shorter stopping distances.
I don't think short stopping distance. Comfort of passengers, no.
Lower fuel consumption. Improved grip on the road.
Lower fuel.
What does this sign mean? Waiting permitted. Waiting restrictions apply. National speed limit applies. Clearway, no stopping.
No stopping is 2x the length or so.
Waiting permitted.
Yes.
Waiting restrictions apply. National speed limit applies.
Your vehicle needs a current MOT certificate. What will the MOT certificate enable you to do? Notify a change of address. Renew your driving license. Change your insurance company. Tax your vehicle.
Tax your vehicle.
You're turning right onto a dual carriageway. What should you do before emerging? Check that the central reservation is wide enough for your vehicle. Stop, apply the parking brake, and then select a low gear. Make sure that you leave enough room for a vehicle behind. Position your vehicle well to the left of the side road. You're turning right onto a dual carriageway. What should you do before emerging? Check that the central reservation is wide enough for your vehicle. Stop, apply the parking brake, and then select a low gear. Make sure that you leave enough room for a vehicle behind. Position your vehicle well to the left of the side road.
What type of emergency vehicle is fitted with a green flashing beacon? Road gritter.
At orange.
Fire engine. Ambulance. Doctor's car.
Yeah.
Who is authorized to signal you to stop? A pedestrian, a bus driver, a police officer, a motorcyclist.
Police officer.
You're on a motorway. A lorry has stopped in the right-hand lane. What should you do when you see this sign on the lorry? Move into the right-hand lane. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Pass the lorry on the left. Stop behind the flashing lights.
Move to the right hand lane.
You're on a smart motorway. What does it mean if a red cross is showing above the hard shoulder and mandatory speed limits above all other lanes? The hard shoulder can be used as a normal running lane. The hard shoulder is for emergency or breakdown use only. The hard shoulder can be used as a rest area if you feel tired. The hard shoulder has a speed limit of 50 miles per hour. The hard shoulder is for emergency or breakdown use only. How much more fuel will you use by driving at 70 miles per hour compared with driving at 50 miles per hour? About 30%, about 100%, about 75%, about 10%.
I think it's been going between 30 and 10.
Where should you take particular care to look for motorcyclists and cyclists? On one-way streets, at zebra crossings, at junctions, on dual carriageways.
At junctions.
What restrictions apply if you're towing a trailer on a 3-lane motorway? You mustn't overtake. You must have a stabilizer fitted. You mustn't exceed 50 miles per hour. You mustn't use the right-hand lane. You mustn't overtake. You mustn't exceed 50 miles per hour.
Mustn't overtake.
What might you expect to happen in this situation? Traffic won't need to change position. Traffic speed will increase. Traffic will move into the left-hand lane. Traffic will move into the right-hand lane.
Traffic will move to the left.
How should you position yourself when you use the emergency telephone on the motorway? Face the oncoming traffic. Stay close to the carriageway. Keep your back to the traffic. Stand on the hard shoulder.
Face oncoming traffic.
How can you avoid wasting fuel? By keeping an empty roof rack on your vehicle. By having your vehicle serviced regularly. By driving at higher speeds where possible. By revving the engine in the lower gears. By driving at higher speeds where possible. By keeping an empty roof rack on your vehicle.
No.
By having your vehicle serviced regularly.
Yeah.
By driving at higher speeds where possible. By revving the engine in the lower gears.
I think that's going to lose more fuel. So it's... Oh.
You've broken down on a two-way road. You have a warning triangle. At least how far from your vehicle should you place the warning triangle? 5 meters, 16 feet. 45 meters, 147 feet. 25 meters, 82 feet. 100 meters, 328 feet.
So the whole 25. But, that doesn't look off. Oh.
You're waiting at a level crossing. What should you do if the red warning lights continue to flash after a train has passed by? Drive across carefully. Telephone the signal operator. Get out and investigate. Continue to wait.
Continue and wait.
What should you do if your vehicle pulls to one side when you use the brakes? Change gear and pump the brake pedal. Increase the pressure in your tires. Use your parking brake at the same time. Have the brakes checked as soon as possible.
Have the brakes checked.
A driver's behavior has upset you. How can you get over this incident safely? Stop and take a break. Follow them, flashing your headlights. Gesture to them with your hand. Shout abusive language. Stop and take a break.
Yeah.
What should you do as you approach this cyclist? Try to overtake before the cyclist gets to the junction. Flash your headlights at the cyclist. Slow down and allow the cyclist to turn. Rev your engine so the cyclist knows you're following behind.
Slow down and allow the cyclist to turn.
What speed limit is often found in narrow residential streets?
Right. 20 miles an hour.
What speed limit is often found in narrow residential streets? How can driving in an eco-safe manner help protect the environment? By reducing exhaust emissions, through increased fuel bills, by increasing the number of cars on the road, through the legal enforcement of speed regulations, by reducing exhaust emissions.
Yeah, by reducing.
What should you do if a vehicle pulls out in front of you at a junction? Swerve past it and sound your horn. Accelerate past it immediately. Flash your headlights and drive up close behind. Slow down and be ready to stop.
Slow down, be ready to stop.
You're following a large vehicle. Why should you stay a safe distance behind it? You'll keep out of the wind better. You'll help the large vehicle to stop more easily. You'll be able to corner more quickly. You'll give the driver a chance to see you in their mirrors.
Give the driver a chance to see you.
You're driving on the motorway. How can you lower the risk of a collision when the vehicle behind is following too closely? Switch on your hazard warning lights. Increase your distance from the vehicle in front. Move onto the hard shoulder and stop. Brake sharply.
Increase your distance.
You have just passed these warning lights. What hazard would you expect to see next? An ambulance station. A level crossing with no barrier. An opening bridge. A school crossing patrol.
These hints in the picture. They're going to be ambulance or school. I was going to go for school first, so go for that one.
You've driven up to a pelican crossing. What must you do while the amber light is flashing? Wait for the red and amber light before proceeding. Give way to any pedestrians on the crossing. Signal the pedestrian to cross. Always wait for the green light before proceeding.
Give way to anybody on the crossing.
You're driving in fog. Why should you keep well back from the vehicle in front? In case its fog lights dazzle you. In case it changes direction suddenly. In case it stops suddenly. In case its brake lights dazzle you.
You just stop suddenly.
What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Signal left when you're approaching the roundabout. Don't signal at any time. Signal right when you're approaching the roundabout. Signal left before leaving the roundabout.
Yeah.
You're following a large vehicle as it approaches a crossroads. What should you do if the driver signals to turn left? Overtake if you can leave plenty of room. Overtake if there are no oncoming vehicles. Wait for the driver to cancel his signal. Wait for the vehicle to finish turning.
Wait for the vehicle to finish turning.
What messages are given by circular traffic signs that have a blue background? They give temporary directions during a diversion. They give motorway information. They give mandatory instructions. They give directions to car parks. They give temporary directions during a diversion. They give mandatory instructions.
Yeah, I think so.
Who may use toucan crossings? Cyclists and pedestrians. Only cyclists. Motorcyclists and pedestrians. Motorcyclists and cyclists.
Cyclists and pedestrians.
You have recently passed your test and are driving on a country lane in wet conditions. The road is muddy and you expect grip levels to be reduced. You are travelling at what you believe is a safe speed, but as you round a shallow bend to the left, you see a lorry heading in your direction. There are no passing places between you and the lorry, and the road is not wide enough for you to pass, so you begin to brake with the intention of stopping and reversing back to a previous passing place. As soon as you touch the brakes, the rear tyres start to slide and the car starts rotating to the right. There is no ABS on your vehicle, so you need to rely on your own driving skill to retain control and bring your car to a stop before you reach the front of the lorry.
Okay.
What information would be shown in a triangular road sign? Road narrows. Minimum speed. Keep left. Ahead only.
Right.
Road narrows.
It's not the speed limit,
Keep left.
but that would be.
Ahead only. Road narrows.
You're driving on a country road that has no pavement. What should you anticipate finding on your side of the road? Pedestrians, bicycles.
I think that pedestrians because we call water.
Why should you keep well to the left as you approach a right-hand bend to let faster traffic from behind overtake, to improve your view of the road, to be positioned safely if you skid, to overcome the effect of the road slope, to improve your view of the road?
Yeah.
You're on a road that's only wide enough for one vehicle. What should you do if a car is coming towards you? Pull into a passing place if your vehicle is wider. Pull into a passing place on your left. Force the other driver to reverse. Pull into a passing place on your right.
Put it on your left.
In which conditions will your overall stopping distance increase? In strong winds, in the rain, in fog, at night.
In the rain.
Okay, frig me, Dano. Let's go and test. All I'm going to say is, well frigging done. Well frigging done tonight. I honestly am gobsmacked. I really am. Really, really good. Right, let's go to number 5. How will a police officer in a patrol vehicle signal you to stop? Well, if they was to use a siren, overtake and cut in front and stop, then that's going to cause you evasive action. It's too dangerous.
I was tossing between the two top ones, and then I was trying to think of where I've seen it. It's generally that I have seen it in front of the car, but then I'm thinking, No, because you want them to be at the back after I've passed away. At the back because the sirens are going to stop all that traffic.
The minimum they'll do is flash the headlights, indicate left, and point to the left.
Yeah.
If you're not getting the message, then they'll put the flashing blues on, but no siren.
Yeah.
And if you're still not listening, they will then use the siren. And if you're still not listening, you've got a police chase on your hands. So it's always minimal disruption. Okay, next one is 15. Is what is the main benefit of driving a four-wheel vehicle? Lower fuel consumption. Four-wheel vehicles like Land Rovers take the most
Yeah.
fuel. It's basically four-wheel drive gives you improved grip on the road, so you can drive in like snow, ice conditions, off-road, stuff like that. So four-wheel drive is ideal for that, to give you grip.
I should have thought I'd use them.
Yeah. 18.
This one.
So a dual carriageway. The history of a dual carriageway is they were there before motorways.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a way of high-speed driving. So you have like the A1 and stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously you can turn onto a dual carriageway from a junction. So if you're turning right, which means you have to cross the lane, first of all, to get into your lane, turning right, check to make sure that the central reservation is wide enough for you. And if not, you're going to have to wait until the traffic is clear on both sides and then continue. So check that the central reservation is wide enough for your vehicle.
I was getting kind of confused. I was thinking, are they talking about maybe in the car driver or the van driver?
Yeah. So it depends what vehicle you're in.
Yeah. So in this case, I'm the car.
Yes.
It's coming across where this red car is coming across.
So looking at that, there is no central reservation, so you'd have to wait for it to clear on both sides.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So carry on. Number 21. Yes. What arrow is that pointing in? Does it point to the left or does it point to the right?
The left.
So moving to the right-hand lane. Yeah, pass the lorry on the left. So yeah, you just need to work out your left from your rights.
Yeah.
Okay, 25. What restrictions apply if you're towing a trailer in a 3-lane motorway? You mustn't use the right-hand lane. Remember, only really cars and small vans can use the right-hand lane on the motorway. 28, yes. How can you avoid wasting fuel? So you put by driving at high speeds where possible. No, because you really are putting your engine to the limit there, which means you're going to be using more fuel. If you think about it, by having your vehicle serviced regularly, so the oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, it's going to avoid wasting fuel, basically. So making sure you have your car serviced. 29, I think, is the final one. This one's a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
So when you're broken down, where do you put the orange triangle? 45 meters or 147 feet. So there is a bit of a trick in that one. So if I remembered this by looking at both the meters numbers and the feet numbers. So 5 meters, 16 feet. Right. So there's no 5 in 16 feet, is there?
No.
No number 5. 25 meters, 82 feet. I looked at it as 45 meters. There's a 4 there and a 4 in 147 feet. So that's how I used to remember it.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then look at that. From 30, you did 20 questions, not even getting one wrong.
And some of them I was going, I think I got that one wrong.
Okay, if you just click end review. No.
Yeah.
Okay, close. Look how that's gone up now.
Yeah.
Graph. So if you look at that now, how that's gone up on that graph, that's quite a huge jump.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really well done. And then if I do that, it brings us back on. So yeah, real good run there.
Mhm.
And a few ones that we've been stuck on in the past that you actually got correct as well. So that's why bring me. So Gillian says, well done. D says, nice job, you flew through them.
Yeah.
Mark's Hobbies says, well done. And D says, left arrow had me shouting at the screen, LOL. Yeah.
Yep.
Just don't get caught out. So, I mean, left and right, which hand do you write with?
Right.
So, right, left. Yeah. That's how I always remember it. But trust me, when I was in the Army Cadets, I didn't know my left from my right. So, I had no clue.
I've got a tattoo on my left hand, like, so.
Right, okay. So just, work out which arrow, what direction it's pointing in. So that's really it. That's it for tonight. Well done. So tomorrow is MCC UK at 8 p.m. Are you there, Dano?
Yep.
I might be, I might not be. It depends when our internet gets switched off and waiting for it to be switched back on with a different provider on Thursday. So I could be there, but I might not be there. Or I might be there and then they'll cut it off and then I'll be like, I won't be there. So I don't know. Don't ask me. So yeah, good night from me. Well done tonight. Really impressed. And I'll catch you all in the next one.
Yep. I'll let you know when the next one is. And it's the one at the end of the week or something.
Yeah.
Or 4 weeks. So I'll see you all tomorrow. So get myself sorted. Night all.
Bye.